obviously, and quite immediately, it impacts importers and exporters both in Europe and South Asia and the Far East. This is just a direct result of vessels simply not operating right now. With, I think the latest number I've heard was 327 vessels standing by within the Suez Canal perimeter. So those are obviously the first and direct results: delays, production implications, etc., etc. More in the long term, once the Suez Canal is getting free again, we're going to have all these vessels leaving the canal, excuse me, going to North Europe, for instance, where there are going to be a lot of vessels in one go accessing the ports, and it is relatively safe to assume that the ports won't be able to handle all this capacity, which again means that we're looking at congestion at ports and again delays for these importer supply chain in North Europe as an example.
Sounds like a big mess. Well, what goods typically go through here? I mean, I know oil is one. And also, could this mean an increase in prices for us consumers?
Well, as you know, only too often the question is, what do the folks that suffer from the increased costs right now, the shipping companies, overall infrastructure providers, as well as the importers or the exporters, or the importers in this case, importing all these goods from Asia, they will certainly have increased cost due to the disruptions, and the question is whether they will put this into their pricing and hand it down to the consumer. So I think that's something at this point I can't say. We have other situations that increase prices significantly right now. As you may be aware, the transport prices between Asia and Europe have been skyrocketing over the last half year or so, and they haven't really reached the direct consumer like you and me getting our groceries. We haven't felt that yet because they haven't been handed down. But it remains to be seen whether this is an opportunity, because it is so well documented that traders generally try to hand this through. So it remains to be seen.
Yeah, I know, and coffee and toilet paper are vital items are also on some of these ships. As you know, the Suez Canal is a vital route between Europe and Asia, and the only real alternative, as far as I know, is the Cape of Good Hope that is around the southern African tip. So that route is much longer and much pricier. So what is the alternative for these ships? What do they do? Do they wait it out until this is resolved, or they try to navigate through that other route?
Right. I think the vessels that are already at the Suez Canal, basically on anchorage awaiting entry, those vessels are probably going to stay, I would presume. But we can already see that numerous carriers, among the largest carriers or ocean carriers in the world, have started to divert their vessels through the Cape, and it depends where the vessels are going. So if we take Asia, if we take Singapore as an example, being a key port in Asia, and we look at North Europe like Rotterdam, the delay will be, or the extended range that the vessels need to sail is between 3,000 and 6,000 miles. So to Rotterdam, that would be a week that cargo would be delayed. If you go into the Mediterranean, like Marseille, for instance, that is already a different story. To Marseille, it would already be 10 days. And if you go further west into the Mediterranean, like Greece as an example, we are already looking at 2 weeks delays.